subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
Another term, and going back to them branding terms, going back to how the white supremacists will brand terms, the term black crime, we got to really analyze that, family, and stop letting these people give us terms and brand them onto us that are not really legitimate terms. Because we've been kind of talking about this for the past couple of days. The white supremacists love talking about black crime, black on black crime, black crime, black crime, black crime. Let me say this. I want y'all to understand me, and I want y'all to follow me. There is no such thing as black crime. I'm gonna let this sink in for a minute because we're gonna have to get deep about it. There is no such thing as black crime. Let me say it one more time, because if they keep saying some shit over and over, then we start saying it, we're going to do something about black crime. There is no such thing as black crime. I want y'all to understand this. Because black crime, it's a myth. A Negro robbing a liquor store is not black crime. It has nothing to do with the black community. That's just a Negro robbing a store. If everybody in the community were complicit with it and they co-signed it and they protected this idiot, that would make it a black crime. But generally, we don't do that. Black crime, quote unquote, is not a codified system like other organized crime networks. Now, there's Italian crime. You had an Italian mafia, you had an Irish mafia, you had a Jewish mafia, you had Asian mafias, you got Mexican mafias, Mexican cartels. That's the ironic thing. All of these other groups, they have collective crime syndicates that their whole communities uphold. We, as Black people, we don't have that. There's never been a centralized, structured, multi-generational crime apparatus within foundational Black American society. Similar to other groups. These other groups, they have hierarchical leaderships, they have rituals, codes of silence, and they have community protection, community silence, a whole system and an infrastructure. In contrast, crimes committed by Black individuals, they're isolated. Almost all of them are isolated with zero affiliation with the larger Black community. The larger Black community just don't sanction that shit. So if they see, when the white supremacists post a picture of some fools fighting at Walmart, oh God, look at the Black culture. That's not Black culture. We don't like that shit either. I don't want to go to Walmart and see two hood rats in a bonnet fighting. Neither do you. None of us want to see that other than them two hood rats. That's not Black culture because none of us like it. We all look down on that. Those are isolated incidents. There's no institutional infrastructure that sustains Black crime that's orchestrated by us. See, organized crime, they rely on institutions. Like in the white community, they have corrupt unions, they have corrupt bankers, they have corrupt police, they have corrupt government officials, the whole shebang. They do aiding and abetting for the whole crime syndicate. There's zero institutions in America that's controlled by Black people that protect crime on a systemic level. Zero. So when people start talking about some fools out here shooting at each other, oh, well, look at the Black community. Why are you not accountable? Like, accountable? And then Black people start internalizing that, man, we got to do better. What the hell we got to do with them two niggas fighting and shooting each other? We don't know them. We don't know what they're fighting about. We have no idea what they got going on. Their beef doesn't go outside of their little inner circle. It has zero to do with the rest of us. And we don't like it. We don't want them niggas shooting around us. I don't want them shooting around me. I don't want them shooting at our school. We don't want it. That's not a Black problem. Those are just two isolated criminals that just happen to be in an area where Black people are. See, we got to start understanding how words work because they try to make us all responsible for the actions of lone wolves. You understand? Because most crime by black individuals, they're personal crimes. It's not organizational. So yeah, when some fool is robbing a damn gas station at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm not benefiting from this Negro getting no damn $30 out the cash register. None of us are benefiting from it. We don't benefit from that. You understand? So how am I responsible for some fool who's robbing a damn liquor store to get a hit? Most likely it's some drug use or some shit. I don't benefit from it, nor am I responsible for this Negro. But we sit up here and let these white supremacists tell us we're responsible for some idiot robbing a liquor store at 2 in the morning. That's just some personal crime this fool is doing. It's not organizational. Yeah, even homicides. These are personal disputes, interpersonal beefs. The survival related issues, drug related issues. These are not crimes that enrich or empower a community like the mafia, like the Italian mafia, the Mexican mafia. A lot of their businesses are fueled by the organized crime. You understand what I'm saying? The Asian, do you really want to go there? You talk about, there's Asian crime that whole communities sit around here and co-sign. They know about Yakuza and the triads and all of these folks, and they fund a lot of the legitimate businesses, and they know it, and they have a code of silence. They don't bust them out like that. So they're all complicit. If we want to talk about ethnic crime groups, yeah, we don't have organizational ethnic crimes that's being codified and held up by the entire community. Those are lone wolf acts when you have dusty Negroes doing dusty Negro shit, not no work of no criminal culture. Most black people are hardworking. They go to work every day. They're trying to do the best they can do. Our community does not protect criminals. We reject the criminal class. Even hustlers reject the criminal element of the game, the violence, because that makes the game hot. But most black society, you don't protect criminals because those criminals are going to do a crime on your ass. You don't want them around. The problem is we don't have an organization to protect us from these idiots. The police don't help. They don't protect us from these fools. Folks say, hey man, this dude is over here with a gun. Police don't show up. They don't help. They don't come do anything. They police innocent people just to keep you contained into the community, but they don't help stop with crime. Black people complain about crime and we need help, and we don't have the institutions who we're paying tax dollars to come in and help us. That's why we're saying we need reparations so that we can police these communities ourselves. We can get all the shit straight ourselves if we have the resources. You see? But in the white community, the Asian community, the Italian community, they had like a code of silence, that or omerta and all that stuff, where their community actively shields the criminal element. In our society, there's no widespread community complicity. In fact, most of the elders, mothers, working class black people, they despise and they try to report that criminal behavior. Yeah. Black communities, they're over policed, not under policed. So there's no black equivalent to a mob boss. You understand? Who's protected by the community. We just don't have that. We just got to be very honest. And like I said, the white supremacy, they criminalize black identity, not criminal behavior. They use the term black crime not to really describe criminal patterns, but that's to pathologize blackness itself. When they say black crime, that means you were born the wrong color. That's what that means. Because anything you do is a crime. Anything you do is going to make you a thug. Remember, going back to Shadur Sanders. Shadur Sanders, this kid is squeaky clean, comes from a rich family, great athlete, Christian, don't even curse, on top of his game, hardworking kid. They were calling him a damn thug. They were calling this kid, this rich black kid, a thug because they thought he was too cocky. He was too arrogant. So yeah, your existence is the crime. You were born the wrong color in a corrupt system of white supremacy. Just understand that so they can find justification to criminalize you in every other way. Every other thing is a justification to criminalize you. They've always done that. That's nothing new. That's why back in the Jim Crow era, if a black person was accused of stealing or touching a white woman, what would they do? They would go and run out the whole black community overnight. They'd just go run them all out. Say, oh, you guys were complicit, so we're going to run you out and take your land, take your resources. That's a con game. We're not supposed to internalize their pathology. Black people, they identify, well, they criminalize your black identity, not criminal behavior. Yeah. Nobody says white crime. They never ever say white crime when there's a school shooter every other day, Wall Street thieves, opioid dealers, opioid users, mass shooters. Every day, they never ever use the term white crime. They start running around talking about some damn per capita, and that's another con game too. So that proves the term black crime is about racial identity, not crime statistics, because based on raw numbers, the white supremacists commit the most crime. But then they start running around here, well, per capita, well, it's black. Look, if you per capita anything, you can manipulate numbers. If you per capita anything, you can manipulate the numbers on anything to demonize it. That's a math trick that the white supremacists like to do, running around here talking about some damn per capita. You don't go for that. That's a little white supremacist math trick that they try to do. Well, 13% of the population commits 53% of the crime. No, they don't. No, they don't. That's mathematically impossible. Because, like I said before, white crime is underreported. White people get away with literal murder. They get away with shit that we get a gazillion years in jail for. They get slaps on the wrist. For example, Kyle Rittenhouse. There's not a black person who can get away with saying, hey, man, I see these protesters. I wish I had a gun and I go shoot them. Then you get a gun and you start shooting people and then get the court to bend over backwards to give you a smack on the wrist. That don't happen with black folks. You won't have a situation where black folks are treated like George Zimmerman. You don't have a situation where black people can storm the Capitol of the United States in an insurrection and you're all out of goddamn jail. You understand? You got Black Panthers from the 1960s who talked about an insurrection. They didn't do shit. They talked about it. They're still in damn jail. You understand? Excuse me. So it's all about pathologizing blackness itself. And we don't have no parallel to intergenerational organized crime. In other ethnic enclaves, organized crime has been intergenerational. You got whole crime families, the Gambinos, truth be told, the Kennedys. Do I need to open that can of worms? Do you understand the history of the Kennedys? We got crime families who worked themselves up to the White House. And I'm cool with RFK, by the way. I'm cool with Mr. RFK, who's in the White House, who's working with Trump now. But come on, I'm going to keep it a buck, though. Y'all better do your research about the Kennedy family that started off as illegal bootleggers. You understand? They weren't pathologized. They're treated like the royal family over here. They have ties to legitimate power. You don't have no black crime families clicked in with political power. Come on, let's stop bullshit. No, none. Nobody. We've never had that social capital or systematic backing from a long-term or long-standing criminal dynasty. Any black kingpin is wiped out in a single generation. If we do get a kingpin, they getting them up out of there right then. You don't get to pass on kingpin wealth in our community at all. So there ain't no black crime. They get them kingpin. The Frank Lucases, Frank Matthews, Nicky Barnes. Yeah, you getting up out of here. Yeah. So yeah, don't let them run that black crime. Most black crime is conditioned by or driven by conditions created by systematic oppression. See, that's why crime in black areas is really regulated to a few areas. It's used to, it's created by poverty, food deserts, failing schools, systematic disinvestments. Um, a lot of it is desperation based crime. It's not organized. So those acts that's a response to environmental neglect, not no criminal ambition. Most people who are black who commit crimes, they don't want to be no criminal. They didn't want to be a damn criminal. They didn't come from a crime family. Yeah. So that the same government that redlined black neighborhoods and flooded the neighborhoods with drugs, that's another thing. because people talk about black crime. Okay, where do we get all the things to commit the crime? The drugs come from whites, Hispanics, and Asians. It comes from their crime enterprises. That's intergenerational. The dope comes from the whites, Hispanic, and Asians. The guns pretty much come from the Asians, Russians. Come on, let's talk real. All the things to facilitate criminality comes from outside ethnic crime enclaves. But the ethnic crime enclaves that flood our communities with all of the criminal resources to facilitate crime, they never get pathologized. It's always the little petty guy on the corner selling $20 rocks. Then, woo, that's a black problem. Not the Asian Yakuzas who gave him that illegal gun. And people will say, well, you don't have to sell the drugs and you don't have to get the guns. Well, damn it, you didn't have to flood the communities with crack. You didn't have to flood the communities with fentanyl, but you did. You didn't have to bring in them big shipments of illegal guns, but you did. You didn't have to do a lot of shit, but you did. Yeah. And look, and remember the other day, I was talking to one white supremacist, and this fool, he started lying about Crips and Bloods because that's their go to. See, the Crips and Bloods, that's like a brand to the white supremacists. It's like a central casting brand because when they think of young black people, they see them as either a Crip or a Blood or some gang member or whatever. So that's just a brand term. And they were like, he was talking about, yeah, the Crips and Bloods did this to the black community, and the Crips and Bloods got ran out of Oakland by the Mexicans. He just making up some shit. As we pointed out, there were no significant Crips and Bloods in the Bay Area in Oakland, and damn sure they weren't going to get run out nowhere. Didn't nobody get run out by no Mexicans, not even here in LA. The Mexicans here, they target civilians, but they're not going to target no damn reputables. They ain't targeting no damn Crips and Bloods. And another thing, when the white supremacists start talking about Crips and Bloods, most black gangs, they don't function like mafias or cartels. There's no unified command. There's no national strategy. There's no political arm. They're like they hyper local, super local, disorganized. They're in conflict with the next block over. Yeah, we got gangs, but it's some neighborhood shit. It's some it's some shit where they got a beef with somebody on the other corner across the tracks. It ain't nothing to do with a community as a whole. They're not operating with communal support or some type of strategic coordination. Yeah, there's no black run underground economy funding community advancement. Yeah. Now, back in the Jim Crow era, when we had segregated economies, yeah, we did have the Jones brothers. We would run numbers and things like that, but it wasn't violence based. That was something. Okay, let's have an underground economy so that we can make sure the community is fed. It was on that vibe. Yeah, we're gonna have bootleg liquor. You know, they would have bootleg liquor. My family, my family, they would bootleg liquor in the woods. It wasn't about running a cartel. They couldn't get jobs anywhere else, so they sold bootleg liquor. Yeah. That was a thing that a lot of families did in the Jim Crow era. But we got to look out for the community because we've been systematically etched out of the mainstream economy by law. So yeah, they did what they had to do and they weren't violent with it. Now there was some violence that happened every now and then because somebody might try to steal somebody's shit. So you might have to hit them with a razor blade every now and then. But for the most part, it wasn't violent. But there's no black run underground economy like that has enriched the black collective. Yeah, so the black crime label, that's meant to really justify surveillance. It's not about justice. You know, that's used to justify disproportionate policing, incarceration, and surveillance. It's a branding tool. It's used to mark black people as dangerous by default, regardless of your actual behavior. That's why when they shoot innocent black people, What do these white supremacists say? Well, you got to understand. Yeah, I know. We know this black person was innocent, but the problem is this police, because 13% of the population commits 57% of the crime. So the cop was in fear. He saw a black person. He didn't know if you were part of that 13% of the violence. So he just had to do it. See, they just use that to justify harming innocent black people. Understand why they use that shit. They use that black crime nonsense to justify saying, well, all black people are dangerous by default, regardless of their behavior. So 43 million plus foundational black Americans, they all got to be painted with the same brush as a handful of disconnected individuals. That's nothing new. They've always done that to justify their own racism. The name of the game is we don't sit around and internalize that nonsense. It's very important. Ah, man, let me see who we got. Oh no, that's Mimi. Okay, no, Mimi. I'm not. I was about to let you up, and I forgot you're the nut job. Mimi is crazy as cat shit. No, Mimi. Okay, let's get Joe Patrick in here. Let me hear what some of y'all got to say. Y'all hop on in here. Joe Patrick, hop on in. Joe, unmute your microphone. All right, Joe, you ain't saying nothing. All right, Joe ain't saying nothing. All right, listen, don't raise your hands if you're not ready. Let's get Stevens. Stevens in the building. Stevens, hop on.
Hey, Tariq. I'm just a little upset today about what happened. Learning some more about what happened down to that sister in South Carolina. Proud FBA mother was killed by 6 illegal immigrants from Honduras, brutally killed. Larissa Thompson. Everyone should know her name. Everyone should get out and speak about her life and what happened to it, because the Democrats are allowing the invaders to kill our women, kill our children. Every day it's getting worse until we take the step of removing these people. We have to keep speaking about it. The media is trying to hide her name, Larissa Thompson, and it's unbelievable what's happening in this country right now. And God bless President Trump for being in office. At least we get to fight. I'm not saying we're going to win, but at least we go out on our feet.
Okay. All right, I'm going to look into that. But yeah, I'm looking that up now. Wow. That's okay. Yeah, thank you for the heads up on that. I'm looking this up now. This is a sister. 6 arrested for the murder of Larissa Thompson in a related burglary in Lancaster County. For some assailants from 13 to 21. The victim was found deceased in a Honda Accord when they lost contact with her. He has a bunch of Latinos. Charge of murder, attempted armed robbery. Okay. Wow. Found a leak trying to get into attempted burglary 2 days prior. Okay, I'm looking this up now. So yeah, some damn illegals. Man. Okay, wow. Yeah. I'm looking this story up now. That's heavy, man. Let me see. I'm looking up, and this was a mother, Larissa Thomas. Larissa Thompson. Okay, yeah, I'm looking this up now. The kids, yeah, she had children, and these dudes, yeah, the suspects were denied bond. Wow, that's heavy, man. Yeah, man, that's why we ain't been co-signing this immigration thing like that, because yeah, this shit don't benefit us. It's a detriment to us. They let these old hostile ass folks over here and target us. Yeah, they let these hostile people over here targeting the hell out of us. So yeah, this is what we've been saying. Winter Soldier, what's going on, Winter Soldier? Winter Soldier, unmute your
Oh
microphone.
yeah, what's up, Tariq? Yo, I want to know, can you go over the issue with the police departments aren't reporting the crime just to keep those property values high in
Oh yeah,
different neighborhoods?
they underreport white crime all the time, and a lot of times, look with the FBI stats, because the white supremacists always talking about, well, the FBI, according to the FBI, 13% of the population. Yeah, the FBI stats are underreported. The local law enforcement, it's voluntary for them to report crime to the FBI. It's voluntary. And a lot of them, when it's white crime, they just don't report it. It's just that simple. They literally get slaps on the wrist. Even locally, when white people commit crime, they're like, just go and get out of here. It's that type of thing. White guy get caught with some fentanyl in his trunk or whatever. Hey, just go ahead, buddy. They always do that. Go look at that Jeffrey Dahmer movie. Did you see the Jeffrey Dahmer movie on Netflix? Winter Soldier?
No, I didn't. I'm familiar with them
Yeah.
because I'm in Chicago. Like I'm related, and I'm not related. I'm like 2 degrees away from two of his victims.
Right. Yeah. So man, listen. And I knew about the case, and I knew how the man was up here killing and eating people for a couple of damn decades. So with the white people, it takes a minute for them to really punish him. But they knew what this fool was doing. But he just kept getting the white pass. And there was one scene where he had a chopped up body in his back seat in bags, driving around at 3 a.m. Got pulled over. The cop looked in there. Hey, what are you doing? What's in them bags? Oh, I'm about to go do laundry. Okay, goodbye. It's that type of shit. You understand? Whereas black folks, we're going to get the police dogs, the drug dogs. We're going to get, they're going to look in our shit and see what's going on. Family, you notice we get over policed, they get under policed. Notice whenever black folks, they throw us in jail over having a gun, over having a knife. Boy, they throw the book at us for having one weapon. Family, I want you to think about, I was thinking about this the other day. How many times have you seen a white man get arrested for one gun? Think about that, family. How many times have you seen a white man get arrested for having a gun? Put your thinking caps on. When I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I've never seen a white man get arrested for having a gun. If they arrest a white man for a gun, he has a whole cache of weapons. If they arrest a white man for a gun charge, he has about 1,200 guns somewhere in his basement. It takes a whole army, a military cache of weapons for them to lock his ass up. You understand? This is what I'm saying. And also, whenever these dudes do mass shootings, you notice this? They're always under the radar of the FBI. The FBI was like, oh yeah, we kind of knew about them. There was always some type of interaction with the FBI or somebody beforehand. Nothing was done about it. They'll quietly say, oh yeah, there was a small little investigation 10 years ago about all of the weapons he had, but yeah, the investigation didn't go anywhere, and then he got 1,500 more guns and then went and shot up a church. So this is what I'm saying. These folks, their crimes are underreported, and it's always been like that. So that's what I mean by that. We got crazy Mimi in here. Mimi, what's up, ma'am? Now, you'll bear in mind this woman is crazy as cat shit, but let's see what she has to say. Mimi, what's up, ma'am? Mimi,
Yes. Hi.
how you doing, Mimi?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. How you been, dear?
I'm great. How are you feeling about this Golden Dome?
What Golden Dome, ma'am?
I don't know. What do you think about it?
You brought it up, dear.
Because you know what? This guy, the president, he be talking about a dome. Like, how is he going to do that? Have you ever sat back and like, how you going to do a dome?
I don't know, Mimi. You tell me, dear. Mimi, are you?
I would say it's called gas, and it's called getting the right planet so you can like balance it all. So you can find what is it, a leprechaun? Like, you got to get the right balance of gases.
With you get gases with the leprechaun.
No, I'm just talking about the Brazil, the horizon. You know what the horizon is?
No, Mimi, are you doing dishes in there?
No, well, you want to do the Amazon? Do you know what an Amazon is?
Marie, are you doing? Mimi, are you doing dishes in there, dear?
Look, you call me Marie.
I mean Mimi, dear. My bad.
Mm-hmm. Do you know what an Amazon is?
What's all those bowls and plates popping in the background, dear? Is that a cup? Are you about to pour you some more crazy juice?
Actually, that's my husband.
You got a husband?
You got a wife, and you
But
got mixed mutts. I'm sorry, children.
don't say that now, Mimi. Don't say that now. Don't you disrespect my children now. Now you know better. You ain't that goddamn crazy. All right? You know better. Now you the one over there with a crooked wig on all types of medication, crazy as that shit. Don't you dare
We can ban
but
zebras now. They're in Africa.
don't you disrespect my children.
Zebras is
You ain't
illegal over
yeah,
this.
no, and also
They're not illegal. They can come over here.
also the crack that made you crazy as shit is illegal too. Now don't you disrespect my children. You know better than that, you crazy ass heifer. Now what husband you got? Put that Negro on the phone. Put your husband on the phone.
We got grown adults over
Put
here. We're
your
not
husband.
doing that.
I want
If
to
I
yeah.
can speak to your wife, put your wife.
Put your husband on the phone. You musty crazy heifer.
You left your wife in Louisiana when you was up there in the Mississippi.
The hell you talking about? You left your crack pipe in El Segundo. All right, that's why you crazy as cat shit now. How dare you? Get your crazy crooked wig having ass off my phone. My kids mutts. What's wrong with you? The crazy folks think they can just say anything about kids, just like Kanye. They think that craziness gives them a pass. No. The hell out of here. Crazy crackhead. All right. Let's get the volunteer in here. The volunteer in the building. Your mouth. The volunteer. Hop on. Volunteer, what's happening, man? Volunteer, is everything all right with you over there? All right, the volunteer is having some issues. Let me get him up out of here. All right, let me see who else we got. Because we do have a lot of people in here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get Belinda. Let's get Belinda in the building. Let's get Belinda in the building. Belinda, hop on. Want to get some of these new faces in here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Belinda. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. First, I want to give you your flowers. I ran across your space on YouTube, and that's why I'm on X now.
Love it.
Yeah, so I want to appreciate you. My son's 29. I even got him hooked on to you, so I want to thank you for that.
Yeah.
But the reason why I requested that guy that came in talking about what's her name, Latricia or whatever, that got killed.
Yeah.
I was in another space and he came up with the same thing. So I think he got a different motive for that, because he just came out of nowhere and told us all in the other room that I was just in saying the same thing. So, which was interesting to me. Now I'm over here in your room and he telling us the same thing. So I'm just wondering, why is he going from all these black spaces just to tell us that?
Okay, I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna see if the brother has any kind of ulterior motives. Let's get Media Right in the building. Media Right, hop on in. Media Right, hop on in. Unmute your microphone, Media Right. Media Right. All right. Media Right is not unmuting that mic. All right. Let's get Sarcastic A-hole in the building. Media Right, I get you. 1 second, Media Right, I get you on. Sarcastic, what's up, man?
What's up, Rena? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I always want to talk about how come they always the U.S. government, they want to make these statues and give us these holidays, but they never gave us no black anti-hate crime bill like they did the Asians.
Right. Yeah, and that's what we're trying to push for, man, because you look, they're out here attacking children and throwing racial epithets towards children, and that's why we're standing on that business right now. We're letting them know we're going to have to get something very specific for us to compensate us and to give us protection.
Root work, feel that natural flow. Root work, stay fresh wherever you go. Root work, I like the way it feels. Root work, the magic is so real. Root work, you need it for work or keeps me fresh throughout the day.